slight change of focus now. So we've had three distinct disciplinary perspectives. I'm now pleased to welcome Pat Loria, who works at the Charles Sturt University in the library there, so is an information professional. And Pat researches around social media, around the visibility of research in terms of both traditional and alternative metrics, or altmetrics. So welcome, Pat.
Thank you very much, Anne. Well, thanks everybody, and thank you to the library for inviting me to talk to you today on altmetrics, or alternative metrics. Just want to really spend just a few minutes talking about them, not too long at all. No time to do a demo here because the words lightning talk and Windows do not belong in the same sentence. So I'll just talk to you about them. Okay, altmetrics, what are they? They really are a natural progression from the traditional metrics. As a matter of fact, they include traditional citation metrics because they also pull in scholarly citations from places like Scopus and sometimes Web of Science if you have it set up that way. Places like PubMed, I think Archive is included as well. Altmetrics is a way to be able to manage the monitoring of your impact out there in the digital world. The way it works is like this. If you have some research output which is digital in some way or other, now that could be a scholarly journal article, it could be a conference paper, it could be a book chapter, it could be a video, it could be a presentation, it could be some research data that you've decided to share online, it could be any kind of research output, but it has to be web native. Then what Altmetrics does, or what it attempts to do, and it's getting better at doing it, is it tries to then capture all of the interest, all of the interactions around that research output and bring them all together in the one place so that you don't have to go out and do it. That's what Altmetrics is. Now there are freely accessible Altmetrics web applications that you can use, and if you have your pen and paper ready, I'll tell you a few now. Although I believe this is recorded, and certainly your librarians here can come out and give you a demo. There is one called impactstory.org, that's one word, impactstory.org. And in Impact Story you can set up a profile, you can download all of your ORCID papers or your papers from Google Scholar. You can manually upload papers and other research artifacts that you have online. You can put in your YouTube handle or your SlideShare handle and so on. You can put it all in there. Once you've got it all set up, it will keep running and capturing all those metrics in the background, and whenever you go to it, those metrics are there at the article level. You can download the list into your online CV, and the list will then have what they call impact badges. Those badges will say that you are cited or highly cited, or that you're being talked about online, and there's various badges that will show up next to your research output artifacts. People who see that in your publication list can click on the badges and it will take them to the web application where they can see the metrics themselves, the granular metrics. The other great advantage that Altmetrics has, like traditional citation metrics, is that you can actually click into the numbers and see who are these people talking about your research, what are they saying. They could be potential research partners for you or future collaborators. So that's another advantage of Altmetrics. So that's one free web application. Another one is called altmetric.com, altmetric.com. Now that one there offers an Altmetric bookmarklet, which you can download in your bookmarks on your browser. Doesn't work in Internet Explorer. It does work in Firefox, Chrome, and Safari. And what that one does, if your article has a DOI, a digital object identifier, and some of the other identifiers are supported as well, including the archive identifiers, I believe, then you can click on the bookmarklet and it will come up with all of the metrics, social media, scholarly metrics, etc. And then you can click on that donut again and it will take you off to the web application where you can drill down in the numbers. There is another one called Plum X. The company behind that is called Plum Analytics. Their flagship product is Plum X. Now that is actually a paid service, but it's probably the best in terms of coverage and the types of impact metrics that it actually harvests. The nice thing about Plum X is that all of those granular metrics can be downloaded into your repository. They will work with you to do that. And you can see those numbers at the article level, at the author level, at a group level, and at the institutional level. So it's actually quite a neat little product. So that's Altmetrics in a nutshell. But whenever I talk about Altmetrics these days, I need to talk about the systems supporting it. There are things called research information management systems that have come into the game, or RIMs. And what these RIMs do is that they manage all of your research output and impact for you. A good example is symplectic elements, which comes out of the UK. There's a lot of Australian and New Zealand universities purchasing symplectic. At the moment, it has a bit of a monopoly in this field, but there are other players now coming into the field as well. Now, something like symplectic, what does it do? It saves you time. The biggest feedback which symplectic gets from researchers using the product is how little time they need to spend in the system. Now, you would be offended if I said to you, I really like you because of how little time I have to spend with you. but when it comes to systems, this is what we're after. And what does it do? Okay, it's a system that automatically goes out and finds all of the publications that belong to Sydney University researchers. It automatically harvests them and pulls them in. It then automatically matches that list against what's in your repository. Where there are gaps, it will automatically generate an email to you and say, we think we found a new article which is yours. And it does the matching with your name and affiliation and a few other things. What you need to do as a researcher then is tick a box saying, yes, this is mine. You can tick another box if you want to nominate it for Herdsey. You say Herdic or Herdsey here? It's the Herdic, right. You can nominate it for Herdic. That's another box that you tick. If you've ticked the Herdic box, the system will automatically then generate an email to the research office for verification. It will automatically create a record in the repository. Then it gives you the opportunity, and well, that's all you have to do really, but then it gives you the opportunity to upload your open access version and add any other metadata that you'd like to add. So the reason I mention that is because if it's one thing that I want to encourage you all to start doing, is to have this conversation with your research office, with your library, with your DVCR, about getting the systems in place that will save you time. The other thing something like symplectic can do, and I know that Margaret, you were talking about the qualitative impact. It'll support that too, because you can add metadata fields for things like esteem measures and professional activities, public engagements, and so forth. You can add those fields in as narrative text fields. It requires some cultural change because as researchers you then have to get used to putting in all of your impact. But when you're ready to write that grant application or do the performance review or go for that new job, you can output all of that impact data as a report, attach it to the grant application, talk about it at the performance review. It's all there and there's nothing else you need to do. It's about saving time for the researcher. And of course it pulls in altmetrics as well. So all of those social media impact metrics and all of the other metrics. So really that's about all I have to say about altmetrics or alternative metrics. As I said at the beginning, they're really a natural progression from the traditional citation metrics which you get in your citation databases, and they're a wonderful way to find out who's talking about your research and what they're saying. Thanks very much.